We have to understand first that there is a very big cultural difference, political difference when we're talking about traditional new migrants from Latin America. So there's a big political difference between Mexico and many parts of Central America. The Mexican government has had very good relationships with the United States, of course, since the drafting of NAFTA back in the 90s. There's been a lot of different opportunities for different immigration kind of laws for Mexicans. So that's kind of been a constant since the 90s. But what we've seen from the 2000s up is the large push from Central America, where they don't have access to those types of laws. So many of them come up via what's called a coyote, or human trafficking. So they pay exorbitant fees. Right now it's about 5,000 American dollars to pay this smuggling ring, or this organized crime ring, to get you from your home country up through Mexico and into the United States. So many Guatemalan, Honduran, Salvadorians have gone through this system of paying these coyotes to get up here. And once they get enough money, and they're able to send money down to get their children up now, or other loved ones up here with them. So that's continuing to this day. It's still an ongoing process of this human trafficking and smuggling from these, mainly from the drug cartels down. There's lots of organized crime that gets these people up here. So if we just look at our elementary school, we can see, if we look 10 years ago, was maybe 1% was Hispanic, and then now it's above 25%. So like I said, it's a very growing population, and we look around, we do know that it's just a significant part. We know it's about a good 15–20% of our community now is made up of this population, and it's an important part because it's keeping a lot of things running. There are workforce that's coming up through the school system right now. So the more opportunities we get them, the stronger Talbot County will be and prepared in the future. So education is kind of our primary goal. So what we've started is our first service-based project is our after-school program. And this year we do have a grant from the state government, a 21st Century Community Learning Center grant, which is a pretty prestigious grant. It filters down from the federal government through the states, so it's something that's offered nationwide. We have 107 students right now in our program. The majority of them do come from immigrant families. About 75% come from immigrant families. And the after-school program is to give them the boost they need, since we do know there's that gap at home where English isn't spoken, and everything in the school system is just taught in English. So we're trying to fill that gap to make sure that students aren't falling behind. And then with that program, once we have access to 100 children, we have access to 100 parents. Or more, and then their relatives and their families. So we've kind of seen this, what we've planned and envisioned is this kind of ballooning effect. So once we start providing this for the children, we kind of got those immediate family members hooked into our program. We can start getting them into English education programs. Right now we're doing a lot of driver's education programs, parenting classes we're doing, and then that's just expanding out through the community right now. So our client list is ballooning right now and growing as more and more communities are hearing about the services that we provide. I mean, there's definitely going to be a huge generational gap between these families that are coming up from extreme poverty in Central America. Their children are born here for the most part, going through the whole school system here. We're seeing more and more the difficulty older children are having even communicating with their parents, relating to them, talking to them, discussing with them, vocabulary. I mean, it's worlds apart. So that's one of the dangers we see. We want to make sure that we don't forget that gap and just focus on the children, saying, oh, they're going to take care of all the problems for the parents. No, these parents need to be engaged and empowered. They can't just wait the next 40 years here waiting for their children to come up and take care of it. Those parents need support and be empowered to help their children even more. So we don't want to fall into that gap where it says, oh, the children speak English, we'll just communicate to them. We'll just forget about the parents. I see that not a good strategy for or any community, especially Talbot County, we want to have these parents engaged. We want to have them active. We want to have them participating in the education process of their children, the social development of their children. And then what we know, since it is a very new phenomenon here, the children coming up right now through the school system, that's just the first kind of wave. We know many of these families don't just have one child. They have 2 or 3 children. So we still get 2 or 3 more ages of children coming up through the system. So we want to make sure if we get something in place now, those parents are going to be even more empowered when they get to child 2 and 3, and that will just make a stronger community. It's almost impossible or difficult for a government agency to take on something like this. That's why you do need a nonprofit, private organization, or a church-based organization, which they do trust, and you have to just develop that trust factor. They know it's a safe place, kind of like going to a priest for confession or a lawyer for confidency. They can come here, with faith, knowing our background and who we are and what we're thinking about. Tell us what they need, and we can help them navigate safely through the system. So parents, we've had to be a little more creative. We get them into the English program, which is provided by Chesapeake College for free in this community, and we want to monitor their progress and what we've been doing to get them to not only get into class but stay in class, is we provide child care. So we partner with the Judy Center. So the Judy Center will provide child care for ages 2 to 5, and then we provide child care for ages 6 to 11, 2 nights a week, so their parents can just freely participate. And then we want to monitor their progress and give them the tools they need to make sure they're achieving a different grade level or a different level of English every year. Yeah. Another one that we put into place starting this year are the driver's licenses. We've been helping hundreds of people in this community to get their taxes done for Maryland, so they can be eligible for the new driver's license. Get them into the MVA, walk them through the process. We kind of give them a dry run, make sure they're thinking about what papers and documents they need, how not to get so shaken and nervous when you first walk in there and you don't really know where to go. So it's been a really great. It's been very good working with the MVA here in Easton. I've heard I've watched The Simpsons, and I've seen all the talk about typical DMVs, but Easton they're very patient. The people in charge have been working greatly with this community. I've had now this week the first 3 clients come, 2 which are parents in our program, come and show me their driver's license. So it's a good feeling. And we're not talking about anything other than just human beings that are struggling and need help and care, and understanding where they're coming from, understanding what they've gone through. I think once people think of it from that way coming up, it's a clear vision of what we can do and what we need to do. I think a lot of people also, especially here in America and having lived abroad for most of my life, we really do take for granted a lot of things. We really do forget how blessed and fortunate and how far above we are than the rest of the world. We might be thinking around, oh, it's a bad economy this week. Oh, gas prices are going up. Oh, food prices. Oh, it's getting a little. It's nice if we could bring ourselves down a few levels and look around the rest of the world and gauge us that way, not just looking to these other richer communities and things like that, engaging us up, but looking down and being able to say, okay, we are in a position where we do have the resources, we do have the ability, and we just need a little bit more of the willpower to get these things done.